BVarsity.com. It's the first week of high school football playoffs here across the Central section, and that means we got lots of updates. I'm joined by my partners in crime here. First off, the one, the only Justin Roberts here. He didn't pick the Golden Hawks, and
I didn't.
And he is regretting that.
I did.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
I did. I picked a 21-14 victory.
I read it.
All right. Let's go.
I picked a perfect score on that.
You did not pick the perfect score. All right, let's go ahead. Let's start running through some scores. Talking about Centennial on the road tonight. Just hit the arrow thing, and that'll work just fine. There you are. Centennial goes on the road. Justin Roberts and beats Central 21-14. The defense, from what I could tell, thanks to Janice Tatum, who on Twitter was blowing up Twitter with the fact that basically Centennial's defense just made life miserable for Central all night long.
Well, they played well all year, but from what I understand, on the opening drive, Central went down and scored on the opening drive to take a 7-0 lead. From that point on, Centennial's defense only allowed 7 points after the opening drive. Really impressive game for their defense.
It was impressive to see that as a game we'll have to get some more details on from the Fresno B, but Centennial moves out to 6-5. And they will get number 1 ranked Edison in that next round.
Well, look at this team, too. If you think about the Golden Hawks.
By the way, that's Trevor Horner over there.
Yeah, hey, here I am. And let's go ahead and get this scroll bar off the screen. But anyway, you think about a team that had to win at Frontier last week to even get into the playoffs. And then they go on the road and beat Clovis West tonight. So this is a team that's kind of, I don't want to say playing with fire, but, they're playing with a lot of confidence on defense. Obviously, they kind of know what they are now after so many injuries. After you get so many injuries, you just kind of realize it's always the next man up, and that's what this team is doing. They're playing great defense, and they're doing what they need to do on offense to be able to continue this run and move on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, in a way, this was their second playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it's a heck of an accomplishment, and we had Andrew Hansen in here, Thursday, talking about this matchup and what it meant to this team, and that they've worked through so much this season, and really kind of validates all the work that team's put in. And I mean, this is a team that we thought going into the beginning of the season was going to be one of the strongest in Kern County. Injuries decimated them, and now they're back and looking good against Edison here. All right, moving on. Next score, please. And there it is, Clovis and Clovis East. Clovis East finished out the season 1-10. Clovis wins 48-27. Clovis will play at 4th-ranked Clovis North next week. That should be an interesting matchup. Moving on in Division I. Here's the next score. And the mild upset of, I guess that's a mild upset. Buchanan taking
that's a pretty decent upset.
No, that's a big upset. And I know that Buchanan, they will say, well, we played in the track. We had a tough schedule. That's a big win.
Big win for Buchanan. The Bears go to 30. They win 35-29 to improve to 3-8. But, gentlemen, they get number 3 ranked Bakersfield at Griffith Field next weekend. Do they stand a chance against the Drillers?
If the Drillers don't have continuity on offense like they had for 2 weeks before the season ended against Frontier and Centennial, yeah, the Bears have a chance. But if Bakersfield comes out and plays like they did against Stockdale, no, we don't know. Will they find an offensive, some kind of cohesion, get the right quarterback into that system, run with one system for the entire game? Yeah, Bakersfield should be able to roll this game, you would think. But
I'll make it more simple for you. No, they don't.
No, I don't think so. I mean, unless BHS, Zach got kind of into this situation last week with Liberty, if BHS turns the ball over like they did, I mean, they've been prone to do that in the 3 years I've been here. It could be trouble. We'll see what happens with them. Moving on, the other half of the bracket, Clovis West takes care of Frontier, 30-10. They move to 6-5. They get to come down here and play at Liberty. Thoughts on that game, Justin Roberts?
I think Clovis West offense does have a chance to put some points on the board against Liberty, but I think Liberty's going to just completely outscore them in what could be somewhat of a shootout, but I think Liberty could put up a half 100.
All right, moving to number 2, and number 2, Division 2 here. Sunnyside takes care, or Sunnyside at Tulare Union. Tulare Union wins that game 55-18. Tulare Union moving out to 7-4. They will play at number 1 ranked Ridgeview in Division 2. Trevor Horn, thoughts on that game?
Tulare Union is just too good right now. I mean, they're playing very, very good football.
Right.
And I like how you asked me, well, I'm looking down.
Well, no, my question for you, Trevor Horn,
Sure.
is does Tulare Union slow down Ridgeview?
No. As good as they are, Ridgeview is just so solid from top to bottom on offense, quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Go to the defense, you talk to defensive line. Linebackers have all stepped, and obviously we know that the secondary could play well with Jamar Moya back there.
All right. I'm looking at this D2 bracket, and it's just reminding me of how brutally tough. I mean, look at this.
It's a great bracket.
It's a
The
great
D2 bracket is
It's probably
very,
the best
very
bracket
deep.
around.
Yeah.
I mean, in the central section. All right, let's go to the next score, and that's Porterville and San Joaquin Memorial. San Joaquin Memorial wins 42-32. They've improved to 8-3 on the season, but they get to face Sanger, who's the 4 seed, and Sanger has got to win over number 1 ranked Edison in Division 1. Yep, Trevor Horn, thoughts?
Welcome to Division II football. When you look at it, Ridgeview versus number 8, you think they're going to run through Sanger 4-5 right there. Redwood taking, completely controlling Tehachapi tonight. They're going to play number 2 Lemoore next week. That's going to be, I don't want to say it's a toss-up game because obviously Lemoore is 10-0, but it's not going to be a gimme, and neither is the Dinuba-Kingsburg game, especially after what we saw at Kingsburg tonight over Independence.
Right, Kingsburg, by the way, we saw them a little bit. We'll show you some highlights here in a second here. Let's go ahead and go to that game. Kingsburg wins that game 60-40 tonight. We have some highlights from that. Let's show some of those highlights, Nick. Let's go ahead and show some of those highlights from the Kingsburg game. Kingsburg got up early, 14-0, and you were at that game for Justin. First touchdown. Your thoughts on Kingsburg? They're fun to watch, really.
I thought they were a lot of fun to watch, and Independence has always been known to put pressure on the quarterback, but tonight, if he was under pressure or if he wasn't, he did so much work with his feet just to get himself a few extra seconds to throw the ball,
right.
and they throw the ball down the field very, very well.
Right.
And they're going to be a scary team in the playoff. That's a scary 11
Yeah.
seed.
Just run through some of those highlights, Nick. Just keep pounding through them. We'll just keep showing those highlights. But yeah, I mean, we thought it would be a shootout because Kingsburg has the offensive diversity of they run I formation, they run the pistol, they'll do a direct snap. The Sierra kid is mobile. He just made plays all the time in the first half, and they're kind of out of order here. But this was kind of the stuff that was going on.
Sierra was impressive, and what's also watching the game is when you come out in different formations, a lot of times offenses will personnel themselves,
right.
or they bring out certain personnels and have a play package. These guys had the same personnel. They just ran different formations with the exact same personnel. You don't know what's coming for you.
Right.
You have to run a base defense. If you're going to blitz, you only can bring one extra. And when Independence did get pressure,
right.
Sierra made a move,
right.
extended the play, even sometimes with his feet. Sometimes he was able to move, scramble, and throw with his arm. And they looked really, really good tonight.
Jordan Wiley, this is one of Jordan Wiley's many impressive throws that he made on the night. It took him a while to kind of get warmed up, and by the time the Independence got things rolling here in this game, they were down 3 touchdowns, and I thought I was going to leave at the first half, but I'm glad I stuck around for a little bit because they kind of got into it late in the game. They threw Wiley threw 2 picks, and one was returned for a touchdown that put them up, I think, 53-28 in that range. They scored again, or Independence came down and scored again. And then you get the final score 60-40, and that was another one of those big plays there. All right, let's go to the next score on that one. Tehachapi's season comes to an end, 35-10 at Redwood in Visalia. 35-10 final score Tehachapi. Not the season I think that most people thought the Warriors were going to have this year. They still finish out a respectable 6-5. J-Rob, your thoughts on Tehachapi?
Well, Tehachapi, They do what they always do. They come out and they run their wing tee. They grind the clock, and this year they didn't quite have the star players, the athletes they've had in the past.
Right.
I will say they ran up against a 7 seed Redwood. That's a good football team.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a no joke football team that's in a 7 seed. They're going to give Lemoore fits, and I know Lemoore's 10-0, but Redwood can play with anybody right now.
Ridgeview playing host to number 8 Tulare Union next weekend. San Joaquin Memorial at number 4 Sanger. Kingsburg facing number 3 Dinuba. Lemoore playing host to Redwood in this. What do you like the 4 seeds to go through here, or do you think there's gonna be any surprises?
No, I like the 1 through 4. I think the upset alert would be Redwood over Lemoore. And I like Dinuba. Dinuba's a very good football team. San Joaquin Memorial's good, but Sanger is just so physical. And I think Ridgeview's the top of the pack right
Clark
now.
Kent.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Oh, I agree with Justin. I think that the 1 through 4 is a top seed heavy. I think Kingsburg, kind of shocked Independence tonight. And I don't think they're going to shock Dinuba next week. So I think Dinuba is going to stay in and do as they should at the 3 seed. Same thing, Lemoore and Redwood might be a challenge for Lemoore, but they're going to go through.
Who is it?
Who's on the line?
Lynch,
Steve
tell him to hold on just a minute. I got to get an earpiece in.
Yeah, and then yeah, I think Sanger is just a little too physical for San Joaquin Memorial. So
hey Griffith, do some work here.
Yeah,
quick.
get in here.
Hold on a second. This is how the sausage is made. This is a working facility.
Nick, get the camera off me.
First off, do me a favor. Go get the earpieces and then tell CP to tap inside that slide to get rid of that URL thing.
They said they can't do it because that's the way you saved it.
I didn't save it that way. All right, we'll keep going. All right, next score list.
Attempting to direct while host. I love it.
No one understands what I'm talking about.
Oh, here we
That's
go.
okay.
Oh, we're
up. See, there you go. Hey, all right. Division 3 first round.
Yep.
Fresno at Golden Valley. Take it away.
Yep, so that was just one of those games where Fresno just a little bit more physical, able to run the ball, had 226 yards rushing tonight, able to kind of overcome. Here's the first touchdown of the game, a nice little, 13-yard pass for Fresno. They took the early lead in this one. They overcame, they had 11 penalties, right around 80 yards, but Tyler Waters here for Golden Valley. He shows good feet, gets in on the score. This ties it up 7-7 in the first quarter. Golden Valley and Fresno kind of going back and forth, whether they want to have a good run game or not, series to series. Here's Hinton with his first of 2 touchdowns on the ground for Fresno. They take the early 14-7 lead in the first quarter. This is out of order, but this is the game-winning touchdown here, makes it 20-14. Botched PAT would actually gave Golden Valley a chance, but this is the final play of the game. 3 fourth-down conversions for Golden Valley there in the fourth quarter on that final drive, but that's another fourth-down play that fell innocently. Nick, can we go back to that 66-yarder in the second quarter for Golden Valley? Tyler Waters, a guy who may not have the greatest arm in the world. Do we not have it, Nick? Okay, well, he had a 66-yard pass to his big wide receiver, Jaquel Harrell. But it's one of those games where it's, what if? What if they're able to run the ball on third down, which they weren't able to do in this one? And then the season is really a what if Andrew Dean doesn't go down after the 5th game of the season. They were 4-1 with him. He was averaging 163 yards rushing. They go to a sophomore, Tommy Thompson. He comes in and does a very good job, averages about 90 yards a game. Tyler Waters is one of those great dual-threat quarterbacks, a great punter for the team, too, a junior, a leader, tears in his eyes after this one. And you just look at it, Tommy Thompson, who had almost 500 yards rushing after replacing Dean this season, goes down. So they have to go to their 3rd and 4th string running backs in this one. When you're asking a guy like Tyler Waters, who is probably better on the ground than he is through the air, to kind of be the facilitator and be the go-to guy, especially against a Fresno team that may have been just a little bit more physical. That's where this final 20-14 kind of comes in.
All right.
Golden Valley definitely did have a chance in this one, just unable to.
South beats Highland 35-6. We'll get some highlights there real quick, but I want to move on. We'll come back to those highlights in a second. 35-6 was 35-0. South completely dominates this game. But the shocker of the night was this one, I think. Go to the next score. Next score. There it is. North and Wasco. North beats Wasco 30-7. Steve Lynch on the line. Steve, you were at this game, and tell us what your thoughts on this game were about.
Well, North just came out and dominated both sides of the ball. I mean, they controlled the line of scrimmage, and this was no fluke. I mean, they just thoroughly outplayed Wasco in all phases of the game. Outgained them 524 to 140. Wasco only had 28 yards in the first half. The Tigers' only points came off a turnover. Well, I mean, an 80-yard fumble return that led to a short touchdown. But Wasco couldn't get it rolling. Their coach Russell Prado told me that his team a lot of them had been sick all week and had the flu, and a lot of his players couldn't practice. And their star running back, Gabriel Cabazela, however you pronounce that name, was held to a season-low 41 yards on 13 carries.
And Curtis Threlkeld ran wild. He ran wild against them the first time. He ran even more wild against them this time.
Yeah, 270 yards a season, career high 270 yards rushing, and then he had 85 yards receiving. So he had 355 yards from the line of scrimmage, from scrimmage. And the quarterback, though, Stephen Twist, played a really nice game, too, 10 of 18 passing for 183 yards, and then he ran for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns.
So North, which got basically dominated by Wasco in the first game,
and then got completely dominated last week at South in the regular season finale.
Right.
38-0. So, Steve, I know you obviously talked to Coach Chad Brown after this game. What were his thoughts? Did you ask him about, how they what they did differently tonight that they didn't do last week against South?
Well, he just, I don't know, he kind of just said, I asked him about that. I asked him what the difference was between this team that beats Wasco by 23 and the team that lost to him 43 to 18 too. And he kind of brushed over the South thing. It was just a bad game. They didn't show up. They didn't play well. But, he said before that his team had been on a roll, that they had been improving all year. And I talked to him and a lot of the players, and they said, hey, we didn't have a lot of our players for that Week 0 game. There was guys that weren't on the team yet. There were some linemen, some guys out injured. And we're a lot different team than we were then. Last week, they really don't know what happened. It was just a bad game. And he said they had a great week of practice this week and tried to put that behind them.
Well, it's interesting for North because I think they got beat by a superior football team last week in South. But, North's got the skill players, and they're going to do some interesting things here. Moving up to 6-5, and they tweeted out the photo, first win in 20 years for the program. So huge.
First playoff win.
First playoff win, right.
Yep.
First playoff win in 20 years for North. So that's a huge accomplishment for the Stars tonight.
Well, and it's not just that. I've kind of beat this to nauseum in stories throughout the season. They were 0-10 2 years ago before Chad Brown took over. He came back to North where he was on the coaching staff as an assistant for 7 previous years, comes back, gets a team to 4 wins last year. Great improvement coming off of, a winless team before. And then this year with Threlkeld there at running back, they've been able to get some kind of a little bit of cohesion on defense. And this is a phenomenal turnaround and a great win on the road at Wasco, a team that, was averaging 380 something. Steve, do you have it in front of you? Like 358 yards a game average Wasco had on the game. And
368.5 yards rushing a game they were averaging.
Exactly. And it wasn't just Cabazzuela. So shutting him down is great, but they've got other running backs that go through there. So obviously North was able to key in on that, knowing that Wasco does not pass. So if you could flood the box and and stop them, you got a great chance. And obviously North showed that tonight.
All right,
Wasco had a ton of 3-and-outs and had to punt 7 times.
Jeez, that's unusual. Very unusual. Hey, we got to get a break on Steve Lynch. Great job as usual. Thanks for tweeting out those updates on the big win for North. We're going to take a quick break here on BVarsity Live. We'll be back with more on the playoffs here from the first round of the CIS Central Section playoffs here on Jamie Health Studios. Bakersfield, California.
Welcome, everyone. Nissan of Bakersfield has everything for the perfect car buying experience, like our beautiful showroom, full of the most popular Nissan models for you to explore, and our fully stocked parts and service department from everything from genuine Nissan accessories to factory-trained service technicians to keep your car running its best. Plus, our massive inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles means you're guaranteed to find the right one for you. Nissan of Bakersfield is where you should buy your next car.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools. #1 financial institution in all Kern County.
Take advantage of our low fixed mortgage rates, including 60-day lock-in at no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Hey, this is Hot from First Look with Scott Cox. Wicked Stitches can get your sports gear, Letterman's jacket, and anything you need to help make your children's school experience memorable. Be the incredible super parent with sweats, t-shirts, blankets, chairs, jerseys custom with the school logo and name, no matter what sport they play. Wicked Stitches can put just about any logo on anything. Call them today at 432-7503 or stop by at 1400 Easton Drive, Suite 147. Top quality products with a local advantage. Wicked Stitches.
This is dignity. The smile given to a sick child. The steps taken to find a cure. Future leaders learning to make a difference. Humanitarians who give from the heart. And a love that comes from above. At Mercy and Memorial Hospitals, dignity is more than just a word. It's who we are.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield, California. The most complete news, sports, weather, video.
Make the decisions I want to make when it comes back out of breaks. And look at who's joining us now. It's none other than Zach Ewing.
Howdy.
Stumbling through.
Welcome, Zach.
Something wrong with this chair, man. I'm not. I swear I haven't been drinking.
Well, Hop was sitting in it probably earlier, so it's probably wrecked. So.
Speaking of wrecked, man, my box score from that Independence Kingsburg game is like
100 total points.
I'm just glad that I was the one there because I'm pretty good at through the years at keeping track of stats, and some of our freelancers who are more beginners, oh man, that would have been.
I was going to say, don't say you're the only one that could have done it.
It's probably mistake riddled.
What's the hardest stat?
You would have done it. The guy who didn't tweet a final score from Golden Valley for like
yes,
half
I did.
an hour.
No, I did. Yes, I did.
I didn't get it.
I did it as the
like
final play.
day,
I said
right?
final
Every
play
day.
falls. Fresno will go on to win.
All right,
2014.
You should see it when Jeff Evans and Griffith start over.
Yeah.
there.
So.
Yeah,
so don't
it is
give
like
me
Scott
anything.
Hop.
It didn't come through my notifications, man.
Well, then
so I guess
your
that's
notifications
Twitter's
are dumb.
There's like 4 conversations going on at once here. It's ridiculous. All right.
Well, for those of you
Zip
that want
it.
an insight on how Zach and I deal with each other, this was it.
Okay, all right.
On a
Back
daily.
to reality here. Let's go through the rest of our score list here from the division playoffs here. Division 4 first round. Kerman beats Exeter 45-8.
Good luck with Liberty Madera Ranchos next week.
McLean loses to Roosevelt 47-12.
That'll be a shootout, actually.
And Madera South, as
Called it.
Zach predicted the other day. Of course, I'm undefeated so far. 49-34 over Coalinga, and Corcoran beats Bishop 33-14.
That's in D5.
I think I did even better. I did better in out-of-area predictions than I did in
Yeah,
because
you and I did pretty poorly.
We
this
were
week.
actually a game worse than you
That's
told
because
me.
you just picked their games on a Ouija board.
I was
All
6
right,
and 5, and
Woodlake,
you were 5 and 6. I think
27-16 over Sierra, and Carruthers 13-6 over Dos Palos.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought Sierra won 27-16.
they did.
They did.
Yeah.
That's right, Mr. Carruthers. I'm gonna be mayor.
Fowler, that
Back
was
to the
really
Future.
bad.
Yeah, I know.
Fowler
pretty
and
bad.
Firebaugh. I've got a call already in from people that are protesting outside. And
What?
Cal City with the win.
Hey, that's
the
my dad's
Ravens.
alma mater.
Cal City?
No,
Fowler.
Fowler?
Flower.
Cal City winning.
Kern Valley has to go at Fowler next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough.
All
That's a
right, and
long
then,
drive.
Division 6. There it is. Fraser Mountain loses to Sierra Pacific 38-14. And we're still looking for the Southern Section scores. Do you have those, Zach?
I do.
Brethren Christian beat Desert 35-24.
Yep.
So their season is over. Mojave marches on 63-20.
So they will play at Avalon, possibly?
Possibly. If Avalon won, I did not see that score.
I do have a little update on.
I'd kind of like to go on that road trip, by the way, Mojave Avalon. Can we
So I
make
do
that
have an
happen?
update for Division 3 for next week. Bakersfield Christian and Tulare Union both on bye, so neither of them had to play this week. That's a 4-5 in Division 3. As it sits right now, that game is slated for Thursday night. Not something that's sitting pretty with the Bakersfield Christian crew because, as most of you know, Bakersfield Christian's girls volleyball team is one semifinal win on Tuesday from hosting the girls,
championship, on
the
Thursday.
championship in D4 on Thursday. So the issue right now, what I'm being told by
Don't both schools have to agree to that? If they move it?
Negative. The problem is that when you look at Tulare,
There's only
4
one
schools,
stadium.
Oh,
one
yeah.
stadium.
Well, and they
hold
give the
on, hold
higher
on.
seed preference
But
for
they-
Friday, and that's Mission
Yep.
Oak.
So they gave it to
Yeah.
Mission Oak.
But here's
They-
my
but
question:
hold on,
Can't
but
cooler
by-
heads prevail, and Mission Oak can say, "Yeah, we'll play on Thursday, so we don't have this problem"?
I don't even think it's going to go that far. The biggest issue for Bakersfield Christian is why not Saturday? Joe Perucci told me tonight. He goes, you know what? I don't like playing Saturday because that takes an extra day of preparation. Obviously, he's looking ahead, but I guess the issue right now is they've said, well, why not Saturday? Those in charge up in Tulare are saying, well, our guys don't work on Saturday. Pay a little overtime, just like I tell you guys. Pay a little overtime every now and then.
Well.
Do the right thing.
No, all right, Clark.
Why
Kent.
not Friday at 4?
I paid your cell phone bill. I don't know why we have to even discuss
Yeah,
this.
why not have a doubleheader on Friday?
You haven't
That'd be
paid
cool.
my cell
That'd
phone
be a
bill.
fantastic night.
Yeah, North High is the
Where's
one who
my
plays
check?
Mission Oak. You know, why can't you play that game on Thursday if you got to play a game on Thursday? Both those teams are out of the volleyball playoffs. I mean, I know you'd rather have a Friday home game if you're
Sure.
Mission Oak, but do it for the kids. Everybody
Well,
wants
and you
to
look
see.
at it, Bakersfield Christian is a school of what, 475 kids, and you've got 2 teams in the playoffs. You're going to you're going to ask your student body and your faculty and your parents and fans or whatever to choose between staying home for volleyball or going up to Tulare for a football game.
I'll
That's
tell you
not
what.
fair.
If I'm Woodlake's volleyball coach, I'm using this whole thing as bulletin board material.
Oh, no kidding.
They're forgetting about us.
Division One playoffs. Let's get focused back here, boys and girls. Division One playoffs. Zach, Centennial goes on the road tonight and gets the big win. Your thoughts on this game defensively? Do we have some stats in that game?
Don't you know what? I may be able to look them up here because I did get them from the Fresno Bee, but Centennial's defense has been there all year long. It's been it's been an issue of whether they can get the offense tonight.
It
They
seems
did.
like every time I looked at, like, Janice Tatum was tweeting that they were sacking the quarterback for Central.
Here, I got some stats here. It's all
Now, I
gobbledygook.
heard the starting quarterback for Central went out during that game.
Yeah.
Late in the game, I think Centennial
Okay.
was already ahead. Let's see. Andrew Hansen, 10 of 18 passing for 150. He also ran for 46 yards.
BVarsity good karma right there.
Andrew Straw ran for 85 yards. Hunter Giulietti,
Interesting.
43 yards. Receiving, Cole Nelson, 3 catches, 60 yards. So looks like they held Central down pretty well. Central looking at their rushing stats. I don't see where Central stats begin here, but they did. Looks like they had 50. I'm going to do the math. 37, 24. Central only had 28 yards rushing. They had 170 passing. So, pretty good defensive effort by Centennial. And that's why I say, Centennial, you say good luck against Edison next week. They don't get blown out by anybody.
They could be in the game
Because they
could
play
find
defense,
themselves in a game. Yeah.
I don't think
And
I'd
I-
pick them to win.
And I
but-
don't think anybody in this room is against saying that Edison has been playing with fire.
A little bit.
Yeah,
They've been
I mean-
better in the second half of the season than they were
Yeah,
in the
very
first.
much so. But
But it's a situation where if Edison messes around, they could be up. Say it's 13-0 at halftime. They turn the ball over. Centennial scores. You have a 13-7 game in the fourth quarter. That sort of situation that could certainly happen.
Yeah. You know what? Let's see those South highlights real quick. This is South.
On the flip side, if Centennial turns the ball over, it could be 49-0.
Yeah, it could be.
Edison
Really
could do
bad
that.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
South, by the way, a totally dominating performance tonight against Highland. Before I even knew, we sent Nick home by 7:45.
These highlights starring the poll.
yet he still didn't bring back tacos.
They had good-looking tacos there at South.
That is a
Sure.
good-looking pole right in the way.
Yeah.
What a catch!
What is that? Who's that? Who's that in the way there?
It's probably another poll.
Yeah. Nice.
That was a nice little one-handed catch behind the Eclipse.
That's a hard
there.
stadium. That's a nice stadium, but it's a hard stadium to shoot for.
South's one of my favorite stadiums in town.
It really is nice.
First playoff. I don't know if you guys have mentioned this. The Rebels' first playoff win since '95. The North High Stars, their first playoff win since 1994. What is that? Combined 41 years of, or
We were just talking
Still
about that
not as
before.
old as
39
Lewis.
years. Combined 39 years.
And still
of,
not as old as Lewis.
yeah.
Still not as old as me. I was just Justin and I talking about that North stat that this is the first time they've won in 20 years in the playoffs. Highland did score, by the way, in this game at late in the game, but you can just South's defense right now is they've outscored their opponents with 100-6 in the last 10 quarters, something like that.
What was the final tonight?
35-6.
Yeah, I know at halftime their last 10 quarters were 110-0. So I guess it's 110-6 over the last 12 quarters.
Oh, wow. Look at that play.
Holy mackerel. Who is that?
Fantastic.
Yep.
Number 14. Is that
110 points, 38, 37, 35 point totals in the last 3 games.
This is a dangerous football team right now.
And you know what? I'll tell you what. They're going up to Madeira next week, and it's a long road trip. Madeira has not been playing that well.
Yeah.
They
No, they
snuck
really
by
haven't.
Madeira South.
Yeah.
They got hammered by Memorial. Ever since they beat Bullard, and Bullard got exposed a little bit tonight, Madeira hasn't been, they've kind of been getting by. I'm not saying South's going to blow them out, but I think the Rebels most certainly have a chance to get into the Final Four.
Well, I think the thing with South, this is kind of feeling like the soccer team, that made the run to the
That's a
title
good point.
game last year. This team is talented. They got playmakers. They got defensive standouts.
And I'm just going to throw this out here. North is a pretty significant underdog at Mission Oak, but could we Civil War sword game rematch in the semifinals?
That'd be a lot of fun
We're
to
a couple
watch.
wins away. I mean, North
Would
would have to pull a pretty big upset, but
that would be a huge upset. I mean, the thing with North is they got dominated by South there, but they came back and they got dominated against Wasco in the first game of the season.
That's true.
And then Curtis Threlkel just ran wild against them.
Mission Oak's a different animal, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a great turnaround for North, though, after getting beat so bad by Wasco.
Yeah.
And
I did hear Wasco had a flu bug going through the whole team. Not to make an excuse, but
Hey, well,
that could explain why. And it may have been a close game anyway, but that may explain why North won so convincingly.
Yeah. Nice work here, Nick. Thanks for those highlights there as South rolls against.
We'll keep you around,
against
Nick.
Highland. We'll keep you around for the rest of the week. We're gonna take one more break here. We're halfway through the show. We'll be right back with more messages, with more of these or whatever. What are we doing here? What is this? Messages? Commercials?
After these messages.
All right,
We'll
be
be
right back.
back.
Welcome, everyone. Nissan of Bakersfield has everything for the perfect car buying experience, like our beautiful showroom, full of the most popular Nissan models for you to explore, and our fully stocked parts and service department from everything from genuine Nissan accessories to factory-trained service technicians to keep your car running its best. Plus, our massive inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles means you're guaranteed to find the right one for you. Nissan of Bakersfield is where you should buy your next car.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools. Peace! BHS! Garden! Frontier! And no matter what school you go to, there's still one thing. One thing! One thing! We can all agree on Kern School is the #1 financial institution in all Kern County.
Visit Kern Schools and take advantage of our 1.74 APR auto rates on new and used vehicles.
Kern School, the biggest little credit union in town.
Hey, this is Hot from First Look with Scott Cox. Wicked Stitches can get your sports gear, Letterman's jacket, and anything you need to help make your children's school experience memorable. Be the incredible super parent with sweats, t-shirts, blankets, chairs, jerseys custom with the school logo and name, no matter what sport they play. Wicked Stitches can put just about any logo on anything. Call them today at 432-7503 or stop by at 1400 Easton Drive, Suite 147. Top quality products with a local advantage. Wicked Stitches.
We've never done marketing. It seems to be a little intimidating. You don't know what's available. You think you're going to sell your first child or it's going to be really expensive to do. But Heather really described everything in a way that we knew exactly what we were doing. There was no questions about it. She was very clear.
I really enjoyed that Heather took her time to get to know us as a family, get to know our business. From anyone that I do meet, I like to get to know them.
We knew exactly what we were getting into, but really the results of it was far more than we ever expected. I think it brought us to the forefront of most people's mind. So they heard our name, and then all of the videos and pictures, the Bakersfield Life, put a face to the name, and they were able to connect that and know what our product was, but also know us as a family.
Because of the Bakersfield Californian and because of Heather, generated so much buzz about our restaurant that we couldn't have done it alone.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield Californian. The most complete news, sports, weather, video, opinion, and lifestyle coverage in Bakersfield and Kern County. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things local while on the go. Read it on your smartphone or tablet. Download now by searching Bakersfield Californian in the Apple, Google, and Amazon app stores.
Welcome back to BVarsity Live, post-game show here in the Dignity Health Studio, the Bakersfield, Californian. I'm Lewis Hamster, your host, joined by Justin Roberts. We're trying to get ahead of the ruckus and the zoo that is Trevor Horn and Zach Ewing, Thorne and Zewing.
Well, hey, man, we're already going over what our plan is for next week, so you can't really get on us that much. We're actually excited about the quarterfinals.
Come on in here. Ron Stapp joining us here.
Yeah, come on in, Ron.
Stapp.
Yeah. Bring it in.
I want to see it.
Bring it in.
You know
Let's get a little Ron Stapp on the show.
Yeah, there's Ron
Oh,
Stapp.
we only get his midsection because he's 9 feet tall.
There it is. Headline: North ends playoff drought, beats Wasco 30-7. A little lengthy on the copy there. I thought I had mandated that those things should be cut in half.
Oh,
Sierra
shush your
Pacific
mouth.
tops Fraser Mountain, and
I'm going to cut his mic off and send him home.
The Rebels roll past Highland 35-6. Redwood pulls away from Tehachapi 35-21. And Centennial.
Why don't you let the viewers look at the beautifulness that our designers do?
Number 1 Edison. There you go. There's an inside page for tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen,
BVarsity
just so
Live.
you know, in a market this big, in a city this large, 500,000 people hanging out here in Kern County, nobody does high school football Friday nights like we do across the board.
Nope.
And, and it's not us. It's our designers. It's our leaders, like everybody else except for Lewis. I'm just kidding. But we love what we do, and we enjoy that you guys enjoy what we do for you. So
Curtis Threlkeld had 355 yards from scrimmage, including a career-high 270 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns to propel North to its first playoff victory since 1994. So I think your dad was the coach then? Was he the last coach to take North to a playoff win?
I'm trying to think the years that. See, how old would I have been there? I think he was 90 through 93.
So
and I know that his last year they went 8-2, so they had a playoff win or two while he was there. I just don't know if he was the coach in 94. I don't believe he was in. When did Centennial open? 94, 95?
I think so.
So then that would have been the year after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't believe he was the.
It was like 94, 95 the first year that it opened.
I believe Centennial opened 94, 95. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So he would have been the coach in 93.
So Zach and I were
93, 94 that it opened. There you go.
Could have been that too.
Before you were
Story time.
We're just trying to figure out the historic North things. That puts Curtis Threlkeld into a legendary status. Then
let's call him. It's only 11:40. Let's see if we can.
Oh, the guys on. Hey, Curtis, if you're watching right now, which you should be, call in.
All right, let's talk a little bit about
Lewis. What's the number that they need to call?
395-7386. 395-7386. We got about 25 minutes left to go in the show here. A couple programming notes for us on Bakersfield.com. Tomorrow from noon till about 8 o'clock, you will have all 4 championship games for Golden Empire Youth Football. We're calling it BVarsity Futures. That's what we're calling it, because if you look at the way that those things are set up, it's all around attendance boundaries. And in the 8th grade game, it's Stockdale versus Frontier, I believe. It's because it's the Southwest versus the Spartans. And that's Stockdale and that's Frontier, because they're all built around the Kern High School District attendance area. But I tell you what's interesting about this is Ridgeview, the Ridgeview district in this Golden Empire Youth Football has, I think, 4 teams in the championships. So football looking pretty strong for years to come.
Well, I got to say something here. I mean, Trevor he wanted to talk about the coverage that the Bakersfield Californian is giving to our high school athletes, and which is pretty impressive as it is. One of the only newspaper that's live streaming multiple games throughout the week. Now you're live streaming 4 junior or youth or Golden Empire games.
Well,
who does that?
No kidding. Well, and think about it. I mean, routinely we've had guys in here. 2 weeks ago we had Marcus Bruce and Anthony Mariscal, who are both going to go off and play D1 football next year, and they're talking about how they grew up best friends playing Golden Empire.
Absolutely.
We had Matt Smith, Isaiah Sharp, and Shimon Crony all on the show before the season started, and they're all talking about how they grew up best friends playing with and against each other. I mean, this is where it all starts. When we see guys doing it on Friday nights, then on Saturday afternoons, and even on Sundays when they get into the NFL, we're talking, I mean, this is the level that they start at, Golden Empire and youth football, where they learn, they hone the craft, and they build friendships that are lifelong. And so this is great. I'm really excited about tomorrow.
I'm tuning in. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
I told my boss that today. I said, we're going to stream these games for about 8 hours tomorrow. And he thought I was going to do it. He immediately started to call the psych unit and say, you know what? we need to have you taken in and looked at.
That's not the only reason that we actually consider doing that for you.
But because
Blues.
I am going
excuse,
to be,
however.
I'm going to be at the BC game tomorrow because it's the BC regular season finale where they're playing host to Ventura. Ventura has already clinched the National Northern Conference Championship, and they will be in the Southern California playoff game. But BC can still get into a bowl game with a win, or even if a loss, they'll be 5-5.
Hey man, the last time we saw the Renegades at home, they beat a then 8th state ranked Cerritos team.
Right,
so I mean, the Renegades are not, they're not a team that couldn't go and win this game.
They're playing so much better now.
They are playing better. They're and what's interesting is that some of their best players aren't even available this year because of injuries. They had so many injuries to start off the season. But it's been interesting to see them kind of improve throughout the year. All right, speaking of improvement. All right, so we're talking about Division I, the playoffs next week. Centennial going to be on the road again at number 1 ranked Edison. We talked about whether or not they stand a chance. If you'd like to give us a call and let us know your feelings on what do you think is going to happen in the Division I playoffs, give us a call at 395-7386. But the rest of the bracket, Bakersfield playing host to Buchanan. Liberty playing host to Clovis West. And on the other side of that, what's the other game? Thorne? Fire it up.
What do you got?
Oh, it's Clovis North. Sorry.
Clovis North.
Yeah, so Clovis North at Clovis.
Okay, you got one game to go to, guys.
Sorry, Clovis at Clovis North.
What game do you guys go to?
That's the thing we were talking about. Obviously we got to go to BHS Buchanan. We got to go to Liberty, and then Zach and I are really talking about how if the Fresno Bee doesn't have a body up at Centennial Edison, we do have to get a body up there because that is a game.
They'll have a body there.
Yeah, they'll have somebody.
That's their number 1 seed. They'll have somebody there. That's their Bakersfield right now.
Well, that is, but they've also got 2 locals at Clovis North going at it at the same time.
That'll be a fantastic game. A lot of people at that stadium.
We're going to cover 2 of their games for them. We're going to cover the Buchanan game. We're going to cover the Liberty game. Ridiculous.
Well, and then obviously, Tulare Union Ridgeview is going to be a great game.
Letter?
Yeah, here's what we'll do. If they don't cover that, then J. Rob and I will drive up there. We'll have a nice dinner. We'll watch the Golden Hawks. I'll write the game, and he'll do the driving. He'll be bundled up. We'll be fine.
You know what? I'm in. If I don't have to be cold, I'm in.
All right. Okay, but now here's the question, though, Thorne.
Yeah.
Pick any game in any division. What game do you want to be at? You got Ridgeview playing host to Tulare Union. That might be an interesting football game.
That's actually, if I'm going to be transparent, that's the game that I want to cover next week.
Why? Why?
Because I want to see how dominant Ridgeview can be now in these D2 playoffs. We've seen what they were, for the last month, they haven't been challenged.
Yeah, right.
They haven't had a game decided by less than 29 points. The last time they were challenged, it was a 28-20 loss to BHS in a game that 6,000 people, 12 extra stands brought in. Inadvertent whistle call late in the fourth quarter. Biggest game, by far, biggest game in our metrics. Yeah,
right.
By far, biggest game, bigger than Liberty Bakersfield last week. So, yeah, I want to see what Ridgeview has here in what I would consider the best D2 field that Central Section's seen in a while.
Right.
And I want to see what they can do next week starting it off.
Let's go through this. Let's make some picks here. We got.
I got to tell you, the best game of the week, in my opinion,
Yeah.
if you had to walk into a stadium with a rivalry game and how much 2 towns will come and support their teams, it's going to be Dinuba-Kingsburg.
Oh, yeah.
Those 2 teams, when they get together, it is incredible how much pride those towns bring together.
I think Kingsburg brought proportionally as many fans as
they did. They did. Had just as many fans, maybe more on the independent side because of the band,
Right.
and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
the band took up about half of that deal.
And you know what? I felt really bad. Fresno, great win tonight for them. Literally 40 people in the stands on the Fresno side watched this game tonight.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's travel cost or I don't know how they look
probably
on
thought we
home
were going
night.
to live stream it on BVarsity Live, so they stayed home.
I don't know how they are at home games, but seriously, I feel bad for those kids pulling out a gutsy win like that and having 40 fans out there on their side. I mean, I could literally count 1, 2, 40. I mean,
All right.
It was bad.
Here we go. Edison Centennial picks. Go.
Tonight,
Yeah.
I say Edison.
All right. What do you say?
I'd have to say Edison. And you know what? I picked against Centennial this last week, but I got to say Edison. I hope I'm wrong, though.
I'm taking Edison, too. All
Oh,
right.
yeah, by the way, this will not be These are not official.
Clovis
Just so
versus
everybody-
Clovis North. Go, Thorn.
Clovis North.
All right, J-Rob.
Clovis North. I picked Clovis North to win the Valley. I know that's sickening to say now,
That's shocking.
but I did.
All right. Bakersfield
I have
versus-
nothing wrong with that. They're the only one, other than Liberty, they're the only other team that went 5-0 in their league, and they played a heck of a schedule.
Bakersfield versus Buchanan. I have to
Drillers.
agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
And Clovis West and Liberty.
Patriots, come on.
I'm taking Liberty, but I think it's going to be closer than most people think.
I don't.
All right. Division 2.
Wolfpack.
Let me skip around here. Division 6.
Oh, we're gonna do that.
Basically, it's already.
Why? Because that was your next
Yeah,
page.
it's my next page. But I wanted to ask about this.
I don't even have a D6
There's
bracket.
only like 5 teams
Okay.
in the division.
Kennedy over Cal City on one side.
Kennedy.
Yep. And then, you know what? I'm going to go Sierra Pacific just because they're not going to have that week off and a good win over Fraser. Well, a win over Fraser Mountain. But I'm going to go Sierra Pacific over Avenel.
So that title will be decided on the 28th, the day after Thanksgiving.
You just called my whole bracket. I went SP with against Kennedy, and Kennedy winning it.
All right, Ridgeview.
Thunderbirds
Tulare-
all the way for me,
Ridgeview,
baby.
Tulare Union, Justin Roberts. Who do you like?
I take Ridgeview by 3 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. San Joaquin.
Yeah, same
what
thing
do you
with me.
think? Same
Yeah,
for you?
Of course, Wolfpack.
I agree with that one as well. And San Joaquin Memorial and Sanger.
Sangra-La.
I like Sanger in a low-scoring game.
Dinuba and Kingsburg.
Danuba.
I'm going to pick Kingsburg.
You would.
I think Dinuba has too much on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh. Lewis is going to have fun with this one.
Redwood and Lemoore. Lemoore, I will take Lemoore.
I've never heard you pronounce that
I've
correctly.
never heard you pronounce
Oh,
it
is it Lemur?
correctly.
Lemur.
It's Lemur. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go with the Lemurs. D3.
D3. D3. Do I have the D3 bracket?
I do. I have Hanford over Fresno in the top side. Justin.
Need it?
Yeah, I need it. I need
Yep.
it.
I'm taking Hanford as well. I'm really excited. I'd like to see Bakersfield Christian win in the game that we're going to talk about later. I really want to see BCHS play Hanford.
I do too. And so I have BCHS.
I'm going to take
beating Tulare.
I'm going to take BCHS.
I do too.
How,
Over Tulare Western.
what is their status though? I mean, are they just beat up? What has been their problem this season?
They got like
Defense.
26 guys and
Defense
yeah,
has
and
been their
not,
problem.
Honestly, all year long, if you look at one thing that was really the biggest change, I know they had so many weapons coming back on offense, and they had R.J. Oliver transfer from Brookside Christian up in Stockton. Grant Bauma not being on the team.
Oh, he was a game changer in the
I
middle
know.
of the field.
Yeah.
He was incredible.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we were the infamous Lewis is nearly dead game where they beat the heck out of Wasco. That game was to me was the Matt Smith domination game, and I remember I was texting you guys as I was nearly dying on that press box. But then we went to the bowl game, and Bauma was just. I mean, you and I are both sitting there on the sidelines going, "My God!"
The way he went sideline to
My
sideline.
God.
I mean, especially in that division, he just wrecked shop.
Yeah, and they still lost. I mean, that was incredible. Okay, BCHS, and then the other side of that thing, you had the South and North. I mean, do they have a chance to go through?
Oh, I'm giving the Rebels every chance in the world. Like Zach said earlier, Madera hasn't been playing all that great. And South's defense, I'm telling you, that thing is stout, and they're running the ball, and they've got a lot of confidence on offense. Obviously, 100 points in the last 3 games.
I'll take South in that game.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to, and I hope that the Rebels bring their ROTC, bring the band, get a good fan support up there, get some Rooter buses going up there, and get good fan support because that's a drive.
It's a long trip.
You know what? But Kyle Wiley loves his athletic program there. He's a great athletic director. Probably has more, school spirit than any athletic director.
The guy's a Twitter monster.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I mean,
I went to college with Kyle Wiley.
Did you, right? So
Yeah.
Kyle Wiley, if you're listening in, call us,
crazy.
395-7386.
he's almost as good as Erod.
Yep.
Over at
But
North.
yeah, I definitely I give the Rebels a chance. I don't know if I can give North an edge over Mission Oak to say that they're going to win this game.
I give that guy. By the way, I
Did you hear Curtis Strelkel in the story today though? He was like, the media doubted us all week. Our own students doubted us all week, and we came out and punished Wasco for it.
I'm
They're
trying
gonna
to
do
get
the same
Curtis
thing,
Strelkel to
or
call
try
in,
to
and he
next
will
week.
not respond
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Use it again because I'm going to take Mission Oak.
I'm gonna take Mission Oak too.
I think everybody will. I mean, although you guys took North, didn't you yesterday? You did, Lewis.
I did not.
And it was George
You know-
Sanchez
Wasco.
No, it was
from
Josh.
Josh Sanchez.
Josh Sanchez. But you know what, though? I was thinking about this earlier. Josh Sanchez.
Dude, he's going to slam on the brakes on Wednesday.
Nissan
and
of
throw you
Bakersfield.
to the-
You know what? He dialed it in. You know, and
That guy was good, man. He took Centennial, too.
He picked. He said. This is what he said, though. I remember it specifically. He said Wasco's not playing as well as they've been playing earlier in the season. You know, and he was absolutely right on the money on that one. They were not the same team that they were earlier in the year, and North ran all over him. So we're going through picks, Zach. We don't care about your picks anymore. So.
We get to read them every Thursday morning.
Yeah, your school's out of it, Stockdale, so we know about that. So anyway,
that's Josh Sanchez.
Did you get traded?
No, I've always been a Stockdale graduate, supposedly.
Oh, I thought it was BHS.
Unless you ask Stockdale people, and then I'm a
yeah,
BHS
yeah,
grad or Centennial grad. I've actually attended every high school in the city.
Really? Even
At times.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Joe Davidson up at Sacramento gets that all the time, where he was like, "Oh, well, you know, I've been accused of this and this and this." You write one story that's favoring the other team because they won. Everybody else is going to think that you went to the other school.
You're very greasy over there.
Well, it's because he's sitting over there in HopSpot, so that's the problem.
Really?
Hey,
I look kind of greasy too. Actually,
we're going commercial free, by the way. You need a little powder, a little Egyptian.
Love
on
it.
you. All right, listen, we're going through. What are we at now? We're in.
We moved up to D4.
Hey, did anybody take Tulare Union to beat Ridgeview?
No.
Tough game for a top seed, man. Tulare Union can score points.
I think.
Well, and Zach, we were
I don't think
talking
Ridgeview will win either, but that's a tough.
I think.
Well, and that's the thing, Zach. We were talking about
Did you
it.
just say you
Ridgeview
don't think
has
Ridgeview
not.
That's what
will
he
win?
said. That's
No,
what he
no,
said.
I think they'll win.
Oh, okay.
But okay,
Talking
what's
over your-
the
That's not what he
biggest
said.
upset pick so far then?
South over
South
Madera?
or Madera.
Nobody took. Everybody thinks Bakersfield Liberty will win. Nobody took Centennial.
My upset alert, and I didn't pick it, but my upset alert was was it Redwood over Lemoore?
No, it was Hanford.
No,
it was
Hanford. Hanford's the number one.
Redwood over Lemoore.
Redwood
that-
over
yeah.
Lemoore is my.
I can see that. I can
Or
see that.
Lemur.
Kingsburg Danube will be a dogfight.
I picked Kingsburg in
I
that
think
one.
so too.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough game.
I think the thing I like about Kingsburg was that the diversity of the offensive play calling. You know, they showed all these different looks. They showed pistol. They showed just plain shotgun. They line up in the eye. They have split backs. They run motion. I mean, gee, man, Christmas. Their playbook must be, it's like going to I don't know, like Farmer Boys for dinner. You could have a turkey sandwich or with a fried egg on it.
Nobody
It's
can beat
ridiculous.
Jack in the Box for variety,
Yeah,
man.
it's true.
Everybody take Clovis North over Clovis? I'm just catching up here.
I did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's going to be a good one, too.
Yeah. The question was Centennial. Can Centennial knock out Edison?
I don't think so. I didn't pick them to Central. Like I said earlier, if they catch a couple of breaks, they're not going to get blown out. I don't think.
No,
Their
I don't
defense
think
is
so
too
either.
good for that. But it's going to be tough.
Okay. All right. What else we got here? Where were we at? Where were we missing?
Division 4?
Division
I
4.
think we're up to D4.
All right. So that's Liberty Madera Ranchos versus who? Who are they playing?
They're playing Kerman.
Kerman.
The Mighty Lions.
What is Liberty
Kerman
averaging
the
like
Frog?
100 points a game right now? Is that what they're
That's
doing?
Coalinga.
Kerman the Frog?
Oh, Coalinga's the Horned Toads, man.
Liberty Madera Ranchos is my pick. Anybody else disagree
In a
with that?
shootout, yeah.
All right.
Anybody pick BCHS?
I did.
Yes, I did too.
Everybody picked BCHS.
Mostly because I want to see him play Hanford.
That would be a lot of fun. I think it's a toss-up game, so if everybody else took BCHS, I should take Tulare West.
Chowchilla
That's what you
versus
should do.
Golden West. Chowchilla versus Golden West. Here we go.
Golden West.
All right.
Really, Nick? While I'm yawning?
Golden West. Golden West played very
Well
well, by the way.
played, Nick.
Beat El Diamante. Almost beat Lemoore when they played, I think. Almost beat Hanford. Golden West.
I'm going to take Golden West.
They're the sleeper in D4.
I'm going to take, I guess, Golden West as well. Chavez playing host to Roosevelt. I'll take Chavez.
I'm taking Chavez.
That's a rematch, I believe, of a Week 0 game that Chavez had. It was a close game. Chavez won by a touchdown, so it could be a good game, but I think Chavez wins.
Hey, who's your coach?
I think in the brackets that I dropped off on your desk, I think I picked Chavez to win it.
Really?
Did you do a full?
That'll be something.
Did you do a full?
Yeah, we were
all
supposed
the-
to do pick
I
'ems and we
did
just
March
never got to it,
Madness
man.
style, all 6 divisions, dropped him off so that I can make a bet with everybody for lunch, and he did nothing.
Well,
with
let's do it. Let's do it from this point. Can we do it from this point?
Yeah, let's do it from this
Nothing's
point on.
been
The
recorded.
quarterfinals
All
on.
top seeds are still
Madera
around.
Well, I'm
South.
refilling out my
All
brackets
right.
because I lost a couple
All right.
first rounders.
Madera
Redo.
South versus CVC. Here you go. Madera South versus CVC.
Madera South, I picked them this week. They have no chance.
Okay.
CVC's way too good.
Yep.
All right.
Way too balanced. I agree.
All right. Division 5.
Farmersville against Corcoran.
Corcoran. Farmersville.
Taking Corcoran.
Wow.
Corcoran's finally healthy. That's going to be a
Yeah, I
good
know.
game.
Now, Sam Metcalf of Farmersville is a special player. but,
Farmersville should not be a number 1.
No, they shouldn't.
So yeah, Corcoran.
But they should probably beat Corcoran, but I'm going to take the upset.
All right. Sierra at Mendota. Mendota?
Sierra.
Mendota?
Sierra.
I don't
Mendota
know.
without
I'm
that
actually going to
running
take
back.
Mendota. Mendota at home. I'm going to take Mendota.
I'm going to take Mendota as well.
I'll take Sierra then.
I'll take Sierra. All right. Emmanuel playing host to Carruthers. 13-6 win for them over Dos Palace.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
There are 3 teams in that division heads and shoulders above the others.
All right.
Farmersville,
Here's the
Kern
big
Valley.
one. Kern Valley's.
But you just picked against Farmersville.
I did.
Okay.
because they didn't deserve the number 1 seed, and I'm sore.
Kern Valley's
enough.
got to play at
Kern
Fowler.
Valley, move on.
Kern Valley.
That's a tough road
No.
trip.
That is
No,
that
you
is
have
a
to go
that
with
is a
Kern
tough-
Valley and move on. Don't
I
you bet
feel
against
bad
the
for Kern
Bronx.
Valley that.
Are you going to take Flower?
What?
Would you rather
Fowler.
them play against a
Flower.
healthy Corcoran team that's won
I'm
D5
sorry.
five out of the last 6
that's-
years?
I'm not going to homer this because my dad
I think
was
it's been longer
played
than
football
that,
at
hasn't it?
Fowler.
I just threw out
But-
random numbers.
You got to give it to Kern Valley. I mean, this team is 10-0. They get the 2 seed, and now because of that high desert contract
Yeah.
they have with Central Section, they've got to travel. Is it 3 hours?
I think.
Is it 3 hours?
No. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is.
it's only
from
four-
Kern Valley.
It's only
Oh, yeah.
45 minutes from Kern Valley into Bakersfield, and then you're talking
And
about
then
an
another hour and a
half.
half.
So you're 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, it's not 3.
Well, unless you get traffic like the volleyball team did last night because of that shooting.
You falling asleep?
I'm falling asleep because Thorne keeps talking.
Yeah, Kern Valley will win, but that's
What's that
tough.
cover?
It's tough.
Hey, but you know what? Kern Valley throws the ball a lot, and Fowler has a. Don't they have all-weather turf in the new stadium?
I believe so.
I think Kern
Never
Valley.
been
I mean, just going to the point of Kern Valley though, they've
I'm
got
gonna have to go make some corrections.
they got some special players. They got a special season going
Zach,
on
do you want
here.
to say goodbye?
So
Since,
yeah. Anyway,
See,
yeah,
Zach.
we got 3 minutes left to go here.
Yeah, get
But I
out of
like
here.
Kern Valley. Let's talk a little bit of volleyball.
Yes.
Volleyball right now. Taft ranked number 1 playing host to Kingsburg. This is Tuesday. This is when that's going to happen.
Yes.
Tuesday.
Yes.
And
Semifinals are on
How about
Tuesday.
Tehachapi?
Stockdale.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a letdown.
What happened to Tehachapi, Thorne?
Destiny
Destiny
July
July broke her pinky. She
Destiny
couldn't play.
July broke a finger, was not anywhere near fully healthy, and it just shows you how dominant of a player that she is, that the team didn't play well and, lost.
I covered
Against a
it.
Central team that beat a higher seed Bakersfield team on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So they've had to travel twice down here
But
and win.
Yeah, disappointing.
It is.
will it be all?
But I'll tell you what, last night's match, Clovis West, Stockdale, I've seen a lot of volleyball. That was about as exciting as it gets. Clovis West up 2-0. They come out into that third set, jovial, smiling. They feel that matchup against Clovis. They can just taste it.
You're
Stockdale
going with a
come-
homer pick, aren't you?
No, just let me finish. You don't even know what I'm
right.
talking about. You
Leave
just
me a
walk
minute
out.
to talk about Cal State Bakersfield's.
No,
night,
hold
by the
on,
way.
hold on. So they come back in, Stockdale tense, and I don't know if they were tense or they're just intense with it, and they came back and won 3 sets and took that game. Lauren Klein signs with UOP on Wednesday, gets the final set. Great week for her. Great week for the Mustangs.
Okay, real quick. Speaking of drama, I know this is a high school show. Cal State Bakersfield men's basketball went to 4 overtimes with High Point University in Hawaii. 4 overtimes. They're leading by 3 with 10 seconds left in the 4th overtime. High Point has the ball. Rod Barnes elects to foul, which I like. You don't let High Point shoot the 3. High Point makes both free throws. All Cal State's got to do is get the ball in bounds. High Point
we got
steals-
Threck held. We got 1 minute with
Shut up.
Threck held.
High Point steals the inbounds pass, hits a layup at the buzzer, wins by 1.
Hey, let's go over
But
midnight. We got
the
Curtis.
men's soccer team beats host Seattle in penalty kicks and is in the championship game on Sunday.
Curtis Threlkeld, we
UNLV.
just picked against you for next week. How does it make you feel?
It makes me motivated and want to go up this week and get better in practice and make big plays for Friday night.
All right, so see, we just picked against you. So what we're doing is we're helping mature you, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Curtis, it's Trevor. So last week they bottled you up. You had that one big run. You lose 38-0 to South. What was the biggest difference between you guys in that game and tonight against Wasco?
Well, there was a lot of talk the whole week about that game, and even just going in the league, there was a lot of talk about that game. And I think my team, we just weren't ready, and they came out the one swinging, and we didn't, and we bounced back from that.
Hey, Curtis, good job tonight. We're proud of you. Fine effort. Huge night. Personal best times. I'm already in track and field mode. Personal best rushing total tonight, 270 yards. Great job. We're picking against you though, but you got to call. You got to call us in next week when you guys win, right? How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right,
Curtis is Trevor. I'm going to call you next week to talk. Okay, bud.
All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Curtis.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, that's all the time we got for BVarsity Live. Somehow we got through this again without a commercial break. I don't know how that happened. So thank
Big
you
week
guys.
next week.
Thank you guys for joining us. We might have something special in plan. You might want to read the newspaper next week. You never know where we're going to be or what we're going to do. We may be at
4 volleyball matches on
7th grade
Tuesday.
girls basketball on Tuesday. You don't know. You don't know. All right. Goodbye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye-bye.